What's going on, everybody? This is episode 647 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk about Georgia Southern. I'm going to give out a win total prediction, how many games I think Georgia Southern can win this year. And I think it's long overdue because last year I said they can win 8 games. They were 2 games short. A couple of games that they should have won, they didn't win. But it was close. But this year, I think that we're going to be a little bit better than last year. And I think we're going to be on point with winning the games that we have in front of us. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that. And we're just going to go from there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Just wanted to let you guys know that Stitcher will be going offline in a week. I think it's February. February. I think it's August 29th is the last day for Stitcher. I am in the process of getting the podcast. Excuse me. I'm in the process of getting the podcast on another platform for you guys, so you guys can actually have another avenue in place of Stitcher. So hopefully that will fall into place rather sooner than later. And I'll pass on the information to you guys. I am on X at VF Baller. I usually talk about things over there that don't make the show, things that don't make it to the show. And also the website is firstandframerates.com. I want to thank you guys for the support. It really helps. And, it's been really doing great over here and on the podcast side. So if you don't mind hitting the like button, it gets the show into the YouTube or Rumble algorithm, and it gets more eyes on to the show, and that really helps as far as bringing more attention to Georgia Southern football and Atlanta Falcons football as we go into the season. All right, let's get into this. The Citadel is the first game that Georgia Southern's going to be playing, and I've been debating if I'm going to go to this game. I have my reasons why I won't go to the game. I kind of made a personal endeavor to go see some of the guys that are going to be on the 2024 Georgia Southern team. I want to see some of these high school kids ball out. I want to let them know that they do have the support of the Eagles, even though they have committed. I want to let them know that we are supporting them. And the Southwest Patriots are going to be playing on the 1st of September. And I plan on going to that game. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go to this game. I want to go, but I'm looking at these guys. The high schooler go in and play in the high schooler name. I think I talked about this before. His name, I got it right, Carlos Mays, wide receiver out of Macon, Georgia. So I may try to go to that game if I could pull this off. And I know I don't know if I'm be able to. This is going to be a situation that I have to talk to my wife about. If I could pull this off, where I can go to this game that evening and find my way to drive down to Statesboro for the game against the Citadel, that will be a phenomenal feat. But the only thing about that is the traveling. I don't like to travel alone. I don't mind traveling alone, but I usually like to have my wife with me, just for, to have someone with me while I travel. And she's cool with football, but she's not the biggest fan. So it's going to the games anyway. So I'm not really sure if that will fly. But looking at the Citadel game, I just talked about too much on that. It's going to be somewhat of a gimme game for the Georgia Southern because I think they're going to do pretty good. And with the Citadel coming to Paulson Stadium, Georgia Southern, like, they're ready to play ball now. I've been watching some of the things that they've been doing, and they look like they're ready to go. And I think Georgia Southern's going to win this game pretty handily. And nothing against the Citadel. I just think Georgia Southern just going to outpower them and outmatch them. Now, the game that I want to go to is the UAB game. We were kind of manhandled at the end of that game when we played them in Birmingham. They're coming to Paulson on September 9th. That's a 6 p.m. game. Now, this is the game I do want to go to. This is the game I want to go to, and this may be the one I probably will go to. Once I go to Macon to see Carlos Mays play, and then I watch him play, Carmelo Mays, I'm sorry, watch him play. Then the following week, I'll probably come down to Statesboro to watch us play UAB. This could be a tough game. I think what is Trent Dilfer's the coach or something like that. I think he is. And UAB kind of dropped off a little bit, but they're still a very formidable team. And even though the power of Paulson is going to be in the mist, we still got to be on our A game. But I do feel that we can win this game as well. I think that with our better defense this go round, I think we'll be doing better at tackling, and that was pretty much the Achilles heel of Georgia Southern last year. We did not tackle well. So if we tackled a little bit better, it would have been a much closer game. This go around, I think we will. I think the defense is much better than last year. So UAB game, I think we start off at 2-0, and UAB is going to be the game that we should win that one as well. All right, we're going up to Wisconsin. Can we shock the world for a second time? We beat Nebraska in Nebraska. Can we go up to Wisconsin and beat Wisconsin? This is going to be a tougher matchup. And I think this will be the game that we'll probably end up losing. I think it'll be close, but I think we'll be losing. Now, can we shock the world? Absolutely. I think we can do it. I don't think Wisconsin is that big of a Power 5 team that we can't handle. But with us going up to Wisconsin, I think this team is a little bit more sound. It's going to be a little bit more disciplined than Nebraska was. And Nebraska was a pretty tough team. Now, the flip side of that, how can we win this game? Just tackle better. Even when we played against Nebraska, that was our Achilles heel. We could not tackle the way that we wanted to. Now, unfortunately, they couldn't pass the ball as well as they thought they could. But Nebraska had a couple of running backs that we had trouble with, and that's what kept them in the game for the most part. We were able to move the ball fairly well, and I think we'll be able to move the ball against anybody with our receivers and running backs, and definitely with Davis Brand at quarterback. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a shootout, but we're in danger of probably losing this game by 2 touchdowns. So we have to be on point. If we can get a couple of stops, we can shock the world. But gut feeling, I think we're probably going to lose this game probably by maybe 10 to 14 points. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to shock the world again. I could be wrong. I don't have a problem being wrong, but gut feeling, I feel that we go down 2-1. Now, the next game we're going to be playing is at Ball State. Ball State is the game on September 23rd. We're going to Muncie, Indiana to play Ball State. I think we're going to win this game. I think we're just going to go to Ball State and beat them. We beat them in Paulson last year. I think it's going to be the same thing. Once again, we're going to beat those guys. Not much to hang your hat on that. I just think we're just going to take care of business, especially after dropping one to Wisconsin. We're going to come back and we're going to be playing with like we have something to prove, let people know that we're not going to be just lying down. So the week after the Wisconsin game, I think we start off at 3-1. The Coastal Carolina game, Coastal Carolina comes to Paulson. This team has been a thorn in our side for a few years now. Can we win this game? I'm not really sure. This is more of a toss-up. I would think the fact that we're in Paulson and we are a better team than we was the last few times we played against Coastal Carolina, I think we can win this game. I think this will be a game that we could actually get up over on Coastal Carolina, and I think we get over the hump, get that perennial nemesis off of our back, and that will give us a 4-1 record. So beat Coastal Carolina. I think they're going to be a very formidable team, but I think that Georgia Southern, the way that our team is stacked up this year, we have a very good chance, and we'll be able to overcome the beating that we've been taking from Coastal Carolina, because like I said, they've been a thorn in our side for a few years now, and I think that will change, and that will give us, like I said, to 4-1. Going to James Madison, October 14th. This game is going to be a tough one. James Madison was top 25 when we played them last year. They came to Georgia Southern at top 25, and Kyle Van Treese lit them on fire. Kyle Van Treese did an excellent job, throwing for like 500 plus yards, beating top 25 James Madison nearly single-handedly. Shout out to the receivers who caught the passes as well. Great game, but I think James Madison's going to try to get some revenge here. I can see this is a game that we drop. James Madison is probably much more, I ain't gonna say probably, I know they're a much more improved team. I think they lost their quarterback, Centerio, but I think they're still going to be formidable. And with us going into James Madison, it may be too much for us to handle. They're going to be hyped to play against us, and this is the game that we should we this is the game that we probably going to drop. So that drops us to 4-2. Homecoming October 21st, ULM. That's a W. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's our homecoming game. That's a W. Not to no disrespect ULM at all, but even though any game could be had, any team could beat us. I just feel like we'll once again show that we have something to prove, showing that we're not flukes, and we did lose to James Madison. We bounced back against ULM fairly easy. That gives us up to 5-2 on the season. And that gives us the October 26th Thursday night game. We're at home playing against Georgia State. This game is a game that I feel that we should win, and I think we're going to probably punish these guys. I know Georgia State is a team that, once again, has been a thorn in our side, but going into this game at 5-2, playing against Georgia State in a blowout at Paulson Stadium, knowing that we become bowl eligible once we win this game, we have a lot riding on this, and I don't think that this team is going to lay down against Georgia State once again. I think we're going to punish this team, and I'm going to give you another reason why. Last time we played against Georgia State, we lost 41-33. We get turned the ball over 5 times. That's not happening again against Georgia State. This is a heated rivalry, to believe it or not, and we haven't taken it seriously. Georgia State is taking it much more seriously than we did, and that stops now. I believe that Coach Clay Helton, I believe that the players that believe in Coach Clay Helton understand this at this point, and even I think they understood it last season. I just think that we got away from ourselves, that we end up turning the ball over, not playing disciplined ball. I don't think Davis, Brin, and company make that happen. I also think that the defense plays a lot better, especially in a big game like this. Becoming bowl eligible, we go 6-2 against Georgia State, and we roll right along to go to San Marcos, Texas, playing against Texas State, a much improved football team from years past. Could be a trap game for us. I'm not going to sit here and say that Texas State will beat us, but we need to be very careful going into this game. After beating Georgia State in a big game, we're bowl eligible. We don't need to rest on our laurels, but we don't need to rest on our laurels and go in and take care of business. What do I feel about this game? This is a game that, if we're not careful, this could be somewhat of a trap game, because we do look at Texas State as a somewhat of an inferior opponent, but you can't take them for granted. I do feel like we go in and win this game. It will be a close one. Texas State gonna give us everything they got, but I think our defense prevails at the end. That gives us a 7-2 record. Now, did I say 7-2? Yeah, 7-2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, yeah, that gives us a 7-2 record. November 11th at Marshall. This is a game that I felt from the beginning, before I even started talking, I felt like Marshall was going to be a game that we lose this year. I don't know how, some way, somehow. I just feel like Marshall is going to come in. Well, we're going to go to Marshall, and we're going to be in a situation where we just get beat that day. And I just feel it. So I can't explain it. I don't know why, but I've always felt this way from the beginning of the following season. I just don't know what it is about it. I always felt like Marshall was going to be somewhat of a thorn in our side. I think we ended up losing to them last year as well. That game was a game that we should have won. But I think that this is a game that we'll probably end up losing in Huntington, West Virginia. That drops us to 7-3. Going into Old Dominion, not going into Old Dominion, going into the Old Dominion game. Old Dominion comes down to Statesboro, and I think that we will continue to have their number once again. I think we win that game Senior Day, celebrate Agriculture Day in Statesboro. Showing love to the seniors, the guys like Davis Brin, Caleb Hood, and others, Brian Miller, all these guys who have been here 5, 6, 7 years. They will get the recognition that, that they've been well deserved, at getting this far in the season winning 7 games, going 7-3 at this point. And this will be a game that might be a little bit too much for Old Dominion. I'm not saying that most of these teams haven't improved, but when you come into Paulson Stadium and this team is going to have so much going for itself, and once again after losing another game, basically the running theme here is I don't see this team losing 2 in a row this season. And, I mean, fingers crossed, but I don't see it. And I think they win against Old Dominion. Now, the last game of the season, going up to Boone, North Carolina. Oh boy. Playing App State November 25th. This game is seriously, it's really a toss-up. I don't know who's going to win this game. Just because I'm biased, I'm going to say Georgia Southern. This game could easily go the opposite way. Appalachian State, they've done some things to step their game up. They've done very well with recruiting, just like we have. And I don't know how well they've done with their transfers, but I'm not sure if they've done as well as we have. Not much been said out of that camp since they lost in the way they lost against us last year. It was kind of heartbreaking for them. It was glorious for us, the way that we won in that double overtime. But App State is going to be back with some vengeance. They're going to want they're going to want some redemption. They're going to want some revenge from last game. So that's going to be a really tough one. Can we win this game? Yes, I think this game is very winnable. But when you're going up there to play against a rival like Appalachian State, anything can happen. These guys are they're well respected as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this rivalry. These kids, that program, they strive on excellence and they do a really good job of trying to be a top tier program. But when it comes to us, all bets are off. We're just scrappy and we're going to be fighting against these guys every time we get on the field with them. We have one up there in Boone, North Carolina. So it's very doable. Vice versa, they beat us in Paulson. Last year, we was able to beat them in Paulson. It was a very good game. Now, what I will say could be the difference, once again, our defense. Can our defense tackle? Can our defense cover? Can we get in a situation where we're not relying on Appalachian State kicker to miss a field goal? And or can we also rely on our defense to actually get some stops so we don't have to put up 51 points? Can we be in a situation to where our defense gets some stops? Like the entire season, like I said, this entire season is going to be predicated on the defense getting stops, because a lot of our games that we played with shootouts. Like I said, the Georgia State game was, the Appalachian State game was, the Nebraska game was, and even in some cases, the Coastal Carolina game. Those games came to the final. Came out to the final drive with the Coastal Carolina. We need to start making these guys, try to catch up with us in the fourth quarter, not just saying, hey, we just need one score and we can beat them. We can run out the clock on them. No, we need to be in a situation where, let's say with 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we're in a position like, no, y'all not going to go anywhere. We get crucial stops where we can have the ball and still have the lead with 6-7 minutes left. And we can, start milking the clock and have, a 10, 14, 21 point lead when they get the ball back with 4, maybe 3, 2 minutes left. It's not going to be no 2-minute drills. We don't want any 2-minute drills for none of these teams where they feel like all they have to do is get in field goal range and they can win the game across overtime. So that's going to be the deciding factor when it comes to playing against Appalachian State or any of these teams. We would need to be in a position to punish these guys. We need to get in a situation where we could get a stop on fourth down when it's late in the game, because those are going to be the deciding factors for the Appalachian State game, possibly the Marshall game, the Texas State game, Coastal Carolina, James Madison, Wisconsin, UAB. You got about 7 games where our defense is going to have to step up. But what I said, like with me being biased, I feel like Appalachian State will be in a position to try to win this game. I think we stop them late once again, and or we'll just stop them late to prevent an overtime or prevent them with the go-ahead score. And with that being said, that will give us a 9. Let me make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll give us a 9-3 record. What do you guys think? Do you think my prediction is kind of out there a little bit? You think we're going to be more of a 6-6 team or 7-5 team. I think I draw out a pretty good case for 9-3. I think the Wisconsin game is going to be tough. I think that I think the James Madison game, it will be a game that we'll probably lose, and I feel like the Marshall game could be another one. I think all the other games are very winnable. I think we can beat UAB, beat the Citadel, beat Ball State, beat Coastal Carolina in a close one. ULM beat them handily. Georgia State, we got too much riding on that game in a blowout game. Going bowl eligible on October 26th. Texas State, close game, but we should win that one. Marshall, I think we may drop that one. And we go 2-0, beating Old Dominion in App State. That gives us a 9-3 record. And I think that's where we stand. So any objections, please let me know. Hit me up on Twitter or X at VFBaller. Let me know what you guys think. Also, just hit me up in the comment section on YouTube and Rumble. Let me know what you guys think on that end as well. So that's pretty much how I feel about this schedule. And I think we're going to be in a good position. I think we're going to, and you know what, honest, and I'll end it with this. This lines up perfectly what happened the year before. We went 3-9. We only won 3 games. Then we end up winning 6 games the following year. We win 3 more the following year after that. 3-3-3, 3-game improvement, 3 years in a row. That gives us a 9-3 record. It flips the record from 2 years ago, and it gives us a 9-3 record, being bowl eligible. And whatever bowl we go to, I want us to win that bowl. But we'll talk about that when we get to that bridge. But 9-3, 9-3, 9-3. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 9-3, what you guys think? If I'm crazy, please let me know. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. Stitcher is going down in a week. So I will try to have another podcast avenue in place. Hopefully it works out. I could be found on X at VFBaller. Also, the website is firstandframerates.com. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get up out of here, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you for all the support. You guys are absolutely amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see you guys for episode 648. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.